All right, so today you're just determining whether something's a function, yes or no. What is its domain, meaning what are its x values? And what is its range, meaning what are its y values? These first two are going to be really easy. Second two get a little more complicated when it comes to domain and range. And then we're going to go into tables and points where it's not visual. You're looking at data instead. These two are probably the toughest things to grasp, but after that, it should get easier. So first off, is it a function? So what a function means is for every input, I have exactly one output. Meaning for every x value, I can only have one y value. Graphically, that means what we use is called the vertical line test. Okay? VLT is what we use. So to actually look at a graph, I take my vertical line tester here, which is a hockey stick, and I'm going to run it across the graph. If it only hits the graph in one place at a time, you have a function. Oh, I got a couple more people add the meeting. Abby Cortez. All right. So as I do this, we're going to work on this problem first. All right. I have 4 data points here at -3, 1, -1, 0, 0, 3, and 2, 2. So as I do this, I'm going to take a vertical line. I'm going to draw it across here. Right now I'm hitting 0.000001 point, 0.0001 point, 0.0001 point, 0.0001 point. So at no point as I went across did I ever hit 2 points at the exact same time. So for this problem here, this is a function. Yes, it's a function. Everybody got that? Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to deal with is the domain. The domain is typically our input values, which is typically going to be x values. All right. So as I look at this, I'm going to look at all my x values. We'll have a point here at -3, comma. My next x value is at -1. All right. My next x value is at 0. And my last one is at 2. All right. And as I do these, I do them from left to right so they're in numerical order. -3, -1, 0, and 2. -3, -1, 0, and 2. Now, I would like you guys to attempt to do the range. The range is the y values. All right. And start at the bottom and go to the top. I'll give you guys a minute to see if you can come up with the output or the y values. See if you guys can do that right now. Give you about a minute. All right. Anybody need more time on this? Y values. Okay. So as I go through this, I start at the bottom. The lowest y value is at 0. Then I'm at 1. So I go up. Next one's at 2. Final one, the highest one is at 3. So once again, domain, x values, range, y values, boom, boom, boom. All right, now is it a function? Once again, because as I went across, I only hit one blue dot at a time. So yes, it is a function. For every input, for every number I plugged in, there's only one output. Now, I want you guys to see if you can do this next one from start to finish on your own. I'll give you about 2 minutes to do that. So now we're down here in the lower left. Is it a function? Domain, range. 4 black dots. If you can't see them, let me know. All right. I'm going to need more time on this one. Okay. Someone want to volunteer? Is this a function? Yes or no? Is this a function? Yes or no?
No.
No. Good job. Good job. As I go across here, here's my vertical line tester. Beep, 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 beep. All's good. One spot, 0, 0. Beep, 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 beep. Alarm starts going off right here. I have one on top of the other. One on top of the other. The x value here is 1 at y is -1 and x is 1 when y is 2. The x value has been assigned 2 different y values. That's bad. So because there's 2 right on top of each other, that is a no. Okay. All right. Input. All right. X values. Okay. Now, some of you are going to go, what do we do if we have 2 different ones at 1? You only have to list them one time. So my x values here are at -2, 1. These are both 1. And this is at 3. So I have -2, 1, and 3. X values, -2. These are the same x value, and 3. Range, start at the bottom. Lowest value is at -1. All right, this one's at 1. This one's at 2. This one's at 4.
Mr. Leonard, question.
Yes, sir.
Would it matter what order we put it in?
It technically doesn't. They recommend you put it from lowest to greatest, but it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I did it like left to right.
Yep, and that's fine. Yep, you can go by whatever the left value is. It really doesn't matter. And you don't pair them up with their number. Like it doesn't have to be this one with that one. Like -2, 4 doesn't have to go in order or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now these next 2 are more difficult because I cannot list the values of the domain and range individually because there are over 1 million points on here, so I can't possibly list all the x values. There's an x value at 0, at 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. There's millions and millions. So what we have to do is either use interval or inequality notation. I like to use interval notation on these, but that's up to you. I'll do the first one with you, and then I'll see if you can do the second one on your own. So we're gonna go to the one in the upper right. Okay. All right. See if you think that this graph passes the vertical line test. Is it a function? Don't worry about domain and range for right now. That's going to be the tough part. Will that be a function over here? Think about that for 30 seconds. Think about if I draw this across, will I only hit 1 point on the graph? All right, what do you guys think? Function, not a function, the one on the upper right.
It's not a function. Or no?
It is no. It is no. So as I start, I'm going to start on the right side this time. Right now I'm hitting nothing, nothing, nothing. 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. Beep, 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 beep. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Everything between here and here, I'm hitting 2 points on the graph at a time. Does that make sense? So it looks like a function from here over and from here over, but it's this area in the middle that causes a problem. We can say, no, it's not a function. So I'm going to write no for that, not a function. I'm not going to use the stupid red marker. I'm done with that one. All right. All right, here's the toughest part of the lesson right now is the domain and range. Okay. What we have to do is we have to look at the graph and say, where are the x values from left to right? There's over 1 million. You cannot say -1 to 3 because there's -1, -0.9, -0.8, -0.7, all the way across. Okay? So as I look at the graph, is there anything over here? Say no. All right? We get our first x value on the very left at -1. Okay? And this is what we were doing last week with those inequalities. I go,
can you scoot the camera?
Oh, sorry. That better?
Thank you.
You got it. So the graph stops at -1 here on the left. Now we're going to hit that comma. Is this an open or closed circle right here at -1?
Close.
Closed. So then I'm going to use that bracket from last week. Okay. Those of you that were back in my 1.1 class, it's been a while since you've seen this, so I apologize for that. Right? Now the graph continues to go across and across, and all of a sudden it stops right here at 3. So my x values in the graph go from -1 to 3. Okay. Once again, open or closed circle here. It's closed, so we're going to go bracket. Oop. Couple days off school, and I lose my marker. Okay, so we got bracket there. So that's left to right, -1 to 3. All right, there's nothing left of it. There's nothing right of it. Now, we're going to go from range, from the bottom of the graph. How low is it going to how high is it going? See if you guys can come up with the range on your own. This is not easy to see. Think of y values only. All right. What's the lowest point on the graph? Y value.
-2.
-2. Okay. Lowest point's at -2, and I got a bracket. Okay. Highest point, +2. Okay. So people are like, well, what about this value at 1? It's fine. It's covered because it's between -2 and 2. If you did not want to use the interval notation, you could have used the inequality notation. You could have said -1 is less than or equal to, because it was a closed circle, to x, which is less than or equal to 3. Going from left to right. Same thing down here. If you didn't want to use interval notation, you could have done inequality with y's. You could have said -2 is my lowest point, less than or equal to y, less than or equal to +2. As we go on here, this next problem, this graph has arrows. It's going up and to the right and up and to the left. So keep that in mind. I want you to see if you can do this next one on the right on your own without my help. All right. So all right. Vertical line tester. Is this one a function? So as I go across here, am I hitting more than 1 point at one time? I'm going here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Everybody have that as a function, I hope. This one is a function. Okay. The domain. Right. This one's a little bit tricky. How far is this graph going to go to the left? Riley, how far is it going to go to the left?
Forever.
Forever. How far to the right, Riley?
Forever.
Forever. It is going to the left forever, into the right forever. The domain, you can write it as an interval, negative infinity, comma, infinity. And once again, we use parentheses for that. Or you can say all real numbers. Okay. There is no inequality version of that. Interval or the word all real numbers. Now the range. Range. We're going to go from the lowest to the highest. Nothing down here. What's the lowest value we have? Lowest value, Caleb.
-1.
-1. There is no open circle, so it's considered to be close. We're going to go bracket. And now as it goes up, it doesn't stop at a certain number. It keeps going forever. So we'll go back to infinity. Inequality notation, you could say that y is what compared to -1? Y must be, as we go up, y must be greater than or equal to. We put the equal to because there's no open circle there. All right, everybody good? This is the toughest part of the lesson. This is going to be by far the toughest. If you had me in 1.2, just give you a heads up. On Wednesday, our Schoology was down, so I was unable to get anything graded. So after classes today, I have about 4 hours of grading left. I got the Chapter 3 test graded yesterday during the football game. I had to grade those. I still have to do all the Chapter 3 homework and any makeup homework you have turned in. So give us time for that. I'll have hopefully grades done by like 3 o'clock today is my goal. All right, the next part of this. Okay. The next part is easier because there's no graphs to look at. There are going to be tables, and it's a lot easier to look at. So you're going to get tables that can run vertically or horizontally. Okay. Get this table of data copied down quick. Oh, I'll swing it back this way. All right, we have 4 years from 1950 to 1950, 1960, 1970, and 1980. We're going to have, they're going to give you random things. We'll do inches of rain that year with 62 inches, 48 inches, 62 inches, and 51 inches. You're going to get bubbles with arrows. Okay, we'll start out with tables and we'll deal with bubbles here in a minute. Is it a function or not? Basically, on a table, the inputs are either the top row or the left row. If nothing repeats itself, you only have one X value. So as I look at this, 1950, 1960, 1970, 1980, they're all different. So that means, yes, this is a function. Yes, this one is a function. None of them repeat. So 1950 has only been assigned 1 inch, or one value. 1960, one value. 1970, one value. The inputs are either going to be the top row or the left row. So for this one, my inputs are 1950, 1960, 1970, and 1980. Right? My range is my Y values. Will either be the right side or the bottom. Bottom or right. I like to list them in order. 48, 51, 62. Any questions on any of these? All right. See if you can do this next one. Once again, the top and the left are the same, and the bottom and the right are the same. All right. Any help here? Is this one here a function? Yes or no? What do you think here? Logan, function, not a function.
So, if I yes.
Oh, not quite, not quite. And here's why. This one is not a function because the X value, 3, has been assigned 2 different Y values. 3 has 2 outputs. Okay? It'd be at 3, 7, and 3, 1. So if I don't graph this, but if I did, I have a point at 3, 7, and another one at 3, 1. Okay? So the reason this one wasn't a function is all the X's were different, where here these 2 X's repeated. So that's why this is not a function. All right. Domain. We'll go -9, 4, and 3. Range, I'm going to put them in order: 1, 7, 8, 11. And we're done. Everybody okay there? All right. Then they're going to give you data bubbles. For example, let's go 7, 8, 9, 10, 7. And they're going to draw arrows. I'm going to do this. Okay, so get that one copied. Can you guys see both sets of bubbles at the same time, or do I need to turn one way or the other?
Yeah.
We're good?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to give you a hint. One of these is a function. One of them is not. Okay? The domain is going to be the numbers on the left. The range is going to be the numbers on the right. One is a function. One is not. See if you can figure out which one is and which one isn't. And if you know why. All right, here's what I want you to do this time. In your chat, I want you to type in the one you think is the function, blue or green, in the chat. Blue or green, which one is the function? I'm guessing it's going to be about 50-50. Let's see how we do here. Okay, I guess we're going to be unanimous here. It is blue. Good job, guys. It is blue. All right. Reason being, each one of these inputs only goes to one number. -3 goes to 2, 4 goes to 4, 1 goes to 2, 6 goes to 4. They each only go to one number. Where over here, the green one, 7 goes to two different numbers, 7, 7, and 7, 1. So this one is not a function. This one is. Okay, domain. These are going to get really easy. The domain and range get easy on these. 7, 8, 9, 10. I didn't put up this there. Range. Y values, second set of numbers. I'm going to go -4, 1, 5, 7. Okay. Domain over here. -3, 1, 4, 6. Range 2 and 4. Pretty good. Okay. Last part is just about as easy. They're going to give you a series of points. Once again, you don't have to graph these. You just say function, not a function. All right. Here we go. Green, and we'll do green and blue again. All right. Once again, one's a function, one's not a function. So you can figure out which one's which. All right, you guys are getting this pretty quick now. All right. Looking at the green one, all the x values are different. Function. Blue, not a function. -3, -2, 4. Uh-oh, I got two -3s. All right. So this one, yes, is a function. Domain, x values 2, 4, 6, 9. Range, -1, 3, 7. Domain, or no, not a function because we had 2. -3, -2, 4. Oh, why am I writing them horizontally? Oh my gosh. They could try and trick you. If they do this, don't write this down. If I change this -1 to 5, but look at this. This was not part of the original problem. Right now I have two x's that are the same, -3, but they're both being assigned to a 5. So if this were the case, they're the exact same point, so it would be a function in that case. So that would be a function. If they double up and they use the same y value, it's still a function. Most tests aren't going to do that, but that is a possibility. Does anybody have any questions as of right now?
All good here.
All right. Come